Morning to you. HawkFanatic.com is brought to you by Patrick Eads and everyone at Deary Brothers Ford on Mormon Trek. Steve Anderson, Hawkeye Title and Settlement. Mike's E-Keys for Cars. GT Car and his crew at Supple's Building and Remodeling. Supple's Flowers, the home of 1-800-800-ROSE. The Midtown Family Restaurants. Harty and Stocker Jewelers, 101 South Dubuque Street, downtown Iowa City. Diamond Dreams Sports Academy. Senior Benefits. Premier Automotive in North Liberty. The Ox Yoke Inn and the Amanas. Streets Maintenance. Dr. Lance Forbes Diamond Dental in Cedar Rapids. And Big Dog Tech Solutions. Here is Tom Suter along with Pat Harty from HawkFanatic.com.
Thank you very much, Cap. A fine introduction as always.
I do my best.
You do. And I have to give a couple quick shout-outs to some sponsors from over the weekend. First off, saw GT from Supple's siding and remodeling and all that good stuff. Going in to get his dollar drink from Sugar Ray this morning.
Yeah.
So see him frequently. And then also had a wonderful buffet this weekend at the Ox Yoke Inn.
Oh, yeah. No, that's
excellent. Man, was that good.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah.
It really is. And I kept it at 1.5 plates. Because I could have kept,
Did you get dessert?
No, that's one of the things I didn't do. In fact, it was funny because when we were driving back, I said, damn, I almost got that cherry pie. And Ann said, yeah, I did too.
No,
but we didn't.
Their pies are great.
So we'll have to go back.
Well, I got to give a shout-out to not a sponsor, but Amazon for producing The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck, one of the dumbest movies I've ever wasted 2 hours and 15 minutes watching.
The Accountant 2, so that means there was
an
accountant?
Yeah.
Why are you giving him a shout-out?
Because it was bad.
Why would you?
You would warning people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout-out means you're saying, hey, I'm recommending this. You're supporting it.
Yeah, if you got nothing else to do.
Spend 2 hours watching a horrible movie?
It's a stupid
Well, I wouldn't have considered it anyway. I probably never would have seen it.
Well, you don't have Amazon. You probably
and I do
No.
remember hearing about The Accountant, but I never gave any thought about watching the original.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, after reading that story about Robert Gallery's life, wouldn't you be kind of afraid if you were a parent to some kid who's out for football?
Well, yeah, but this is nothing new. No, not dismissing Robert's situation, but this is out there. It's almost. I'm not saying it's old news,
No, but that's
it's
so close to home.
Well, but there's a lot. It's out there.
There's hundreds of instances.
And as far as the cure for him, more power to him.
That's great.
What's interesting about that is I'm actually the one who told Mike about Robert's situation because I found out about it from Brian Hurley, who advertises he has got Hawkeye Recap, and he and Nick Gallery do a podcast together. And I was talking to Brian, and he told me about Robert's situation.
What is the situation?
He's CTE, and he's found some psychedelic drug in South America or Mexico that has done wonders for him. But
Ibogaine or something.
The problem
like
is it's illegal in some places, but it's working for him, and his life was spiraling. But I didn't do anything at first because I thought Brian and Nick were going to do a podcast, and then we'd have Robert on the air. We're still going to get Robert. We're trying to get Robert to, because he's going to do he's going to start doing a lot more media stuff closer to home. I told Mike about it, and he reached out, and more power to him. He got a hold of him right away and did that story. I read it. A lot of powerful stuff from Robert. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if he'll do the podcast with Nick and Brian first, but Brian's taken steps to help us try to get him on the radio because he wants to go on this kind of media blitz now and promote what he's doing. He started a nonprofit to help people in his situation. So no,
and if this can help other people, I mean, it could be a godsend.
Yeah, for him it worked. Nothing else was working, but this psychedelic in Mexico. What's it called, Karn?
I think it was Ibogaine.
Yeah, that. And it works for him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, great. More power to him and to them.
Yeah,
maybe they can work into that and help with Alzheimer's.
Well, I see. Oh, that's a good point. But I see Robert's story as hopefully kind of reignite, because to me the CTE story is kind of, not saying it's died out, but it's not near as prevalent as it was. It's almost like we learned to live with it, like it's just the way it is. But now you see Robert's situation, like Karn said, hitting closer to home. Maybe it'll kind of reopen some eyes, because to me it seems like that's sort of died down a little bit.
Well, it goes in waves. And hopefully something like this, it opens Iowa Hawkeye fans' eyes.
There's, if you go to 60 Minutes on Facebook or 60minutes.com, they did a story last night on these psychedelic drugs and how they're helping people.
They are, yeah.
Who have PTSD.
Dead fans were way ahead of their time.
Yeah,
seriously. Well, then think about it. We're saying this is now hit close to home. Guys, do you remember Tyler Sash?
I know.
Yeah. I mean, this has hit home prior to this.
But that's what I'm saying. It goes in waves.
But that seems like old news. Nobody.
Exactly.
Now, was Tyler's the same situation or what?
Well, he had CTE and he died of a drug overdose, didn't he? Of painkillers. I believe it was.
Yeah, something.
But yeah, he had. Yeah, no, it's an issue. It's an ongoing issue. It's not going to go away. And I think people, like Robert made it, according to Mike's story, $46 million, but it came at a price.
Well, and Robert Gallery did have his wife helped him along. I mean, she was right there with him.
Well, yeah, he's married with 3 kids. He's got a strong support unit. Hopefully most people do, but not everyone does.
Not everyone
does.
No,
there's tragic stories dating all the way back to Google Andre Waters, former Philadelphia Eagle defensive back. Google his story. I mean, there's a ton of sad stories. They're saying that
he said the only thing he had was verbal abuse. He said luckily it wasn't physical abuse.
Yeah, and you can go back to the what's his name, Hernandez, the tight end. I think I've read where they think he had CTE.
Yes,
and it just affects people in different. Not justifying anything he did. He was
They knew he had.
Yeah, so it's out there.
Well, what about that quarterback for the Bears back when they won?
Oh, Jim McMahon.
Jim McMahon.
Yeah, he had something. He had another thing too, because in a documentary, he had something where there was fluid was building on his brain, and they did something, and he said it felt an automatic relief the moment I can't remember exactly what the procedure, but that happened years ago, because this documentary was one of those 30 for 30 things, and I remember him being interviewed saying, the moment they did this procedure, the pressure off you could just feel it lifting, and he was much better off. So I don't know what his is as far as CTE, but yeah, he had brain issues too. I mean, it is what it is, sadly.
I guess you pay a price.
Well, yeah, but if this psychedelic starts working for more people, then they got to figure out ways to make it legal everywhere.
Well, of course.
And of course, somebody's going to make a lot of money off it.
Situations.
But yeah, I mean, just don't let the word psychedelic, steer you in the wrong stereotype. Oh, drug addicts. And next thing you know, they're doing meth and listening to the Dead. I mean, just psychedelics can do some good.
Yeah.
Well, that's coming from somebody who did not like psychedelics.
Well, you have a good day, and don't get messed up with anything.
All right, we're just gonna trip after the show, aren't we?
Got some window pane.
I never liked that stuff
until when you bring up to that, you don't have to do psychedelics and then crap in a field, though.
No, but I don't recall anyone ever crapping. I went to tons of Dead shows. Never saw anyone take a crap in the field. Saw a lot of nasty kaibos and really gross and disgusting bathrooms, but never saw anyone. So you're embellishing. You're embellishing to push your narrative. I'm going to call you on it.
Whatever.
Never saw anyone take a crap.
I've seen the crap, and it wasn't a field.
Okay, here's the guy who's never been to a Dead show, but he's going to tell someone.
That's not true.
You went to one.
I went to one.
And nobody took a crap while you were there, but you're going to tell me what I saw
crap
at Dead
in
shows.
the field.
Yeah, no.
Well, here's somebody who did see it happen. Good morning.
Hello.
Hey, good morning. Hey, what's that movie with Will Smith? That he was the doctor that came up with the...
Oh, that was he was portraying the doctor from Africa who was way far ahead of everybody on CTE research. I can't remember the name.
Oh, man, that enlightened me when I saw that.
Yeah.
How they portrayed, I guess they treated, who was it? Well, you named the one guy.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the character he played, but it's a doctor who was on the forefront of CTE research, and he faced some resistance from the powers to be.
Yeah, but okay, a quick question, Pat, did you really take that shirt home?
Yes.
The Mayberry shirt.
Yeah, why is it not? Is it filled with germs or what? I threw it. It's on the.
Well, I figured once I looked at it, I didn't realize how stained it was. And I thought, oh,
is that from you?
This thing ain't going to make it out past the dumpster.
Oh, no.
I'm glad you like it.
It's laying in a box on the floor in my bedroom closet. I haven't washed it. I'm seriously thinking about framing it because, I couldn't have fit into that thing when I was 8.
With some bleach. Thinking, hey man, maybe it'll come out, and then it turns.
Oh no, it's fine. But I didn't. Well, thank you for bringing it in. I probably will.
Hey, the movie you're talking about was Concussion.
Yeah, Concussion. Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I seen it. I thought, oh.
No, I appreciate it. Like I said, I might.
What was the T-shirt?
The Mayberry. He brought me an Andy Griffith T-shirt. Now it's a size. I mean, I couldn't wear it when I was. It's the smallest medium I've ever seen. I mean, it looked like a halter top on me.
Yeah, well, I
like
I
to
got
see
it
that.
downtown at that toy store. Man, that place in the mall in the
God,
Old Capitol.
I can't remember the last time I was in the Old Capitol Mall.
I know. I didn't even realize that place was there because I hadn't been there. And I walked through. Man, it's like old.
It's been years. I think the last time I was there, they had that Midwestern Bagel Company was where. What's now what Atlas used to be? What is that? What is that now?
Atlas is now St. Birch.
Do you remember when it was Great Midwestern Bagel Company? It was a really good bagel place for a year, because I went there all the time when I was working at the.
Hey, you guys take care.
All right, thanks again for the shirt.
Take care.
All right, thanks.
So no shirts for Captain Steve. If you want to bring Steve one, he wears a small.
Oh, Steve couldn't. You couldn't have fit into that Mayberry shirt.
No, I couldn't.
Way. I mean, it was tiny. But it'll be.
I wear 2Xs.
That's what I wear. No, I wear just an XL. I mean, XL.
I don't like it.
I don't like it tight.
Too tight around my neck.
No, I hate having T-shirts that are tight.
I do too.
Even as a kid,
I got to tuck in a chin.
No, I don't tuck in anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you buy any of those T-shirts that you can get online frequently,
which I've never done,
they're a little small. Yeah. They run a little small.
I've never bought anything online. Can you believe that?
Nothing?
Other than like WebRoot. Stuff like that. But I've never bought a product that had it delivered from Amazon or something online.
Interesting.
I've never done that. Never had anything from Amazon.
Well, hey, if you can buy stuff locally, good for you. I like to also.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to think of
there's some stuff you just can't get.
No, that's true.
Well, like my stereo and stuff. I mean, something. I've had that stuff. My stereo, I've got a Pioneer receiver, which was top notch when I bought. I've had it for 20 years. There was a time the Pioneer was.
Oh, for sure.
Pioneer stuff is
Great
really
stuff.
good. Sony speakers. I've got a Harman Kardon.
Those were excellent.
Receiver that's literally probably close to 25, 30 years.
Yeah, that's excellent.
But I've taken care of them, and they work. I just wish the 6-shooter I have as a CD thing was a single thing. I don't like, but you can't find CDs anymore. I guess that's one thing maybe I'll try to get on. I would like just a single CD player.
Easy.
All it plays is one CD and have it be really small.
Then you get stuff like ours.
Well, my Pioneer CD thing is massive. Expensive. I could float on a river on that thing. How big it is, and that's just too big. So,
yeah, but you'll be able to find a single CD player.
So that is something I may look for online, and Amazon would be the one to likely deliver it, right?
And probably almost any garage sale that you go to would have one. Spend $4 and get a $600.
I can't remember if I've ever had 6 CDs in there at one time and just played them all. I just don't. That's just.
When we first redid the studios in Coralville, I had those Sony CD players, and they were single play CD players.
Were they good?
And they were $100, and they lasted forever.
See, I'd love one of those right now.
Forever.
They've got to be out there somewhere.
And I couldn't find them, and I ended up getting these professional. They were just home CD players, and we used them at this.
But yeah, mine's a Pioneer.
Forever. We have had at least 4 or 5 of these damn professional ones.
And it's
since
black.
We moved here.
And I don't like these as well.
No.
And everything's black. My CD player is not much smaller than that thing right there by you. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's big. But It's been reliable. It's worked great. And I'll tell you, these Sony speakers I got from Feeney, God, 20, 25 years ago, they're not very – they still just work incredibly. Yeah. It's amazing how durable they are because I play a lot of music. But as far as back to the gallery situation, yeah, it's and I know that NFL has done a lot to address these situations, but I think the NFL also would not mind if people didn't talk about it too. Don't you agree?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and see, that's why it's good that Robert prior, I didn't know. The best thing about Mike doing this story is I had no idea that Robert had been on 2 or 3 podcasts prior to this. Halas didn't know, obviously, because when I told him about what Hurley told me, he hadn't heard anything. And and judging from some of the remarks underneath Mike's story, I don't think any Iowa fans knew that he had done at least 2 different podcasts, but he didn't do them in the sports arena, so we didn't see them. That's what was good. But now you're going to start seeing a lot more. My guess is, like I said, he's going to do a media blitz, and I'll keep you posted as to when we can get him on, because I know Brian and Nick, I think, are going to do a podcast with him. And I know, remember, he lives out, he's 7 to 9. Our show is on from 7 in the morning to 9 in the morning where he lives out in Lake Tahoe. So, but like I said, I've reached out to Brian, and he's going to get back to me as far as trying to get him on, because he does say, Robert does want to reach as many people as he can to try to spread awareness and to let people know that he's doing better and that he's got this new nonprofit thing that he has started. And yeah, I'm going to read up on this drug. It's crazy.
No, that's amazing.
It's crazy what we're starting to learn about psychedelics. I mean, really. I mean, it's if you can just get that stigma of, lava lamps and hippies and Woodstock, it's more than that. But for some people that I know, the moment you say psychedelic, you lose them. Wow.
But psychedelic now, I mean, back then it was just...
What was this, Timothy Leary? Who was
Timothy Leary.
And the acid test?
What was it? Tune in, turn on, drop out?
Was that something his like thing? That.
They'd show like a housewife taking acid, and it's...
But even some of these drugs now, I mean, the medical community is getting in there, and they're, making them safer. There's not.
Oh, sure. I mean, and drugs are interesting too, because think of that cocaine. Obviously, a blacklisted drug, and rightfully so. But wasn't there a time early in medicine where it was used as a huge treat?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
it's in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's what's so strange about how drugs take on these different stigmas and stereotypes over the years. I mean,
well, see, the other thing is too is what it helps Robert Gallery's situation, but can do something completely different for somebody else.
Well, that's the thing, too. That's why there's got to be more research. And Robert even said what's good for him may not be good for someone else.
That's right.
And what was bad for Robert, the stuff that he was taking prior and it wasn't working, works for him.
Well, exactly.
Of the 10 people that they did a study on 60 Minutes, and I don't know that this was on the TV show, but it was in overtime. Of the 10 people they did this study on, 5 of them completely changed their way of life and stopped the PTSD. And then 2 others, it came and it went. It wasn't constant.
So, there is no perfect remedy for anyone. Yeah. I mean, it's just – but luckily he has found something, because it sounds like now he's on a good path and things are – looking much better for him, and he realizes he's got a lot more to live for.
That's great.
And, you always like seeing that. And it'll be interesting to see where he goes with this stuff. And but, I'll keep you guys posted as to trying to get him on and kind of go from there.
Hello.
Yeah, I spent a hot minute playing football, and as a result, I've got bad issues with my neck, and, the discs are disintegrating and blah, blah, blah. But I use microdose mushrooms, not on a daily basis, but just when the pain's really bad, like at evening when I'm watching television. And, man, that pain goes away in a heartbeat. Wow. And I'm able to get a night's sleep, and I'm not tripping or anything like that. I'm just, it's just a pain relief for me. And I wake up the next morning, and I'm not groggy or anything.
Okay, so where do you get that? Where in Iowa do you get that?
I got it at that little New Bow Market up in Cedar Rapids. That kind of pop-up shop place they have.
Oh, so it's legal mushrooms. I mean, they're legal. You can just get them over the counter.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was even available.
Yeah, they have it up there. There's a little stand there that sells CBD and stuff like that. But for me, it really, really helps. And like I said, I'm not, screaming hot tuna almond brothers. So.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that is interesting. People listening out there, maybe.
Well, that's good. Thank you for sharing that. That's great.
You bet. Good show, guys.
Thanks. Yeah. That is interesting because when I think of mushrooms, I think of those nasty things in college. I just never got into that. So I knew people they'd eat those things and then they'd play hacky sack for the next 6 hours, and take off their clothes, and it just was never my thing. But I had no idea you could buy mushrooms like over the counter. I had no clue you could do that. But good for him. I mean, he's found a source of pain relief, and that's the important thing.
So many people buy the gummies for pain relief, and it just works so well.
Well, I know people that use them to sleep.
Yeah, but someone gave me, and said try it for my arthritis before I started getting infusions and stuff. It did nothing but make me lightheaded.
And most of the people I know use it to sleep.
Yeah,
and they get it legally. They have license or whatever the medical card, and they seriously use it to go to sleep.
Yeah, and I know people that have done it. That it's good for them.
Yeah, I've never done it.
It didn't do anything for me.
Now, can you get gummy bears in Iowa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't get leaf, though, in Iowa, can you? The actual marijuana product? No. I don't believe that, but you can get the gummy bears in Iowa.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what.
But you can get certain gummy bears.
Well, that's what they gave me.
But they're kind of low potency, right?
I don't know. It made me lightheaded.
You should have tried those mushrooms.
It didn't It didn't relieve the pain.
Yeah.
So if you ever have arthritis pain, try those mushrooms that the caller was talking about. If it worked for so much, and he said his neck. I mean, that's interesting. That I didn't realize mushrooms were a pain reliever. I just thought they were something to make you do goofy things.
And now you're stereotyping.
Yeah, I was stereotyping mushrooms. I was cutting mushrooms short.
Yeah.
But that was also 40 years ago, the last time.
Hot tuna.
You like hot tuna?
Yeah, actually.
Not real familiar.
The band.
Not real familiar.
I don't like hot tuna, the fish.
I don't like the food, but I like the band.
I don't mind a good tuna sandwich.
Yeah, if it's cold.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I don't want it.
Yeah, no, I don't want tuna. Although my mom used to make tuna melts with cheese and bread, and they were really good.
The best one I have, Midtown, when they put it on special. They don't have it all the time, I don't think, but those are damn good.
They have tuna melts?
Yeah.
See, I'd have to try. I mean, I could eat one of them. I can taste it right now. That was one of her things, tuna melt. She used to make really good stuffed green peppers,
Suter's
too.
going to throw up.
Do you like stuffed green peppers?
Depends what you stuff it with.
She stuffed them with some type of spicy rice that had scallions and onions. You would like to. Oh my God, it was good.
Out.
Great little ground beef. It was so good. You ever have stuffed peppers?
Yeah, every now and again.
I mean, it wasn't one of my if I was going to rank my mom's 10 best stuffed peppers would not be in the top 5. But they were good. They were good, but
I can eat. I like green peppers and red peppers.
I like green peppers on pizza and in salads.
Yeah.
And in spaghetti sauce. And
as the main event, it's a little harder for me.
Yeah, well, lots of times you don't eat the green pepper. You eat everything inside it, and then you just kind of leave it. You throw away. I used to throw away half the green pepper, if she made them big enough or what have you. But I'd eat some of it. But, yeah, the green pepper by itself it needs to be with something, at least in my eyes. So, but no, again, I'm happy for Robert Gallery, and like I said, if we can help spread awareness for what he does, we will gladly do that on the air.
Is he still doing education, too?
Education.
Yeah, he was teaching at one time. He was teaching at Hills at one time.
Who?
Robert Gallery.
No. No, he wasn't. He lives in California. You're getting him mixed up.
When he was in school.
Oh, maybe then. I don't. But it's part of an intern. But no, he has no. That was years ago. And now I'm sure that was part of his. I mean, he must have been an education major.
Yeah,
right?
Must have been.
But no, he's not. I mean, I didn't. As far as I know, after his NFL career, I don't believe he taught at all then.
Okay.
And I'm not sure. I remember when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was doing something like with automobiles and stuff, like those luxury automobiles, like buying and selling them or something.
Yeah.
It was something like that. But no, I'm guessing you're thinking when he was just that.
When he was
when these guys are in school, they do like internships
Sure.
and stuff at schools around. all around the area.
Well, I'll tell you, every time I look up at the press box now and see his name up there, then it'll remind me of the price he had to pay to get up there.
Yeah, and sadly, he's probably not alone. I mean,
no.
There's others that maybe are fighting with this stuff, but choose to keep it private, and that's their prerogative. People want to go about dealing with it whatever way they want to deal with it. That's their right to deal with it. If you don't want to go public with stuff, but hopefully they can find. I don't know if this is ever anything you're going to find a cure for, because this is something that from just wear and tear and pounding. This isn't like Lou Gehrig's disease, where all of a sudden you just find out you have something that anybody could get no matter what you do. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw, sadly. But this one, I mean, like I said, I mean, they're making progress, but that was the thing with Robert's situation. I remember saying to myself when Brian Hurley told me about it, I'm like, wow, I have just forgot about CTE. You know, I really had. I hadn't really thought about it for years. And then Hurley drops this bomb talking about Robert's struggles and how he'd gone to Mexico and what have you. And it just kind of relit the light, or what, if that makes sense. I just like, wow, I mean, that is still out there, even though I had kind of, not saying I had moved on from it, I had just sort of pushed it aside because you don't read about it much anymore.
No. Until somebody prominent.
Yeah, and there's other Robert galleries out there.
You bet.
I just haven't Googled CTE announcements or whatever. I'm sure if you did, there's a ton.
Yeah.
I just hadn't been exposed to it, and that's what Robert's situation. It is weird, though, that he did 2 somewhat prominent podcasts, and none of us heard about it in this day and age. Don't you find that a little odd?
Well, there's just so many podcasts.
It must be. I mean, I just figured somehow it would have filtered down to us here in town. And
everybody's got a podcast, seems.
Well, there's a lot of them.
It seems.
Yeah. In the study that 60 Minutes reran last night, 45% of the vets with PTSD went into full remission.
With the psychedelic?
With the psychedelic
well, that's
assisted
You'd like it to be higher, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah.
That means 55% obviously didn't. But, hey, you got to start somewhere.
Well, that's the people that they did. It made it better for them. But they'd still have bouts, you know. But then it would go away.
It's crazy to think that they're turning to psychedelics. I'm not saying that admits that they don't have the right answer just through their modern medicine, but it is interesting. And it makes you wonder if psychedelics are going to play a bigger role moving forward.
Well, I mean, holistic medicine's always had a kind of a niche.
It has.
Market, if you will, but there's the natural remedies, there's absolute truth to all of them. Some of them are on a very limited basis, but others are.
Well, the thing that ruins it is the hucksters that go above and beyond what they can do.
Oh no, that'll happen with the psychedelic stuff too.
People will. Sure, it will.
People will try to exploit it for their own gain and watch it become political, like everything.
Well, it's like they're running ads, and we've run the ads on CBS News too about the testosterone and how you should take this fake thing this testosterone, and it is the last thing you want to build up when you're in your 50s and 60s is your testosterone, because that leads to prostate cancer. The thing they did with me when I had prostate cancer is get rid of the testosterone. You know, so I took hormone treatments to actually get rid of it, so that it wouldn't grow while they treated it. So. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there that they advertise all the time, and it's crap.
Everything on half the stuff you see on TV is
drugs.
Probably more than half.
Meds.
Especially late, as you get close more into the evening, it seems like everything is.
And I never heard of any of that stuff.
See, I love the ones I love the most are, don't take Skyrizi if you're allergic.
How do you know?
Hello?
All of those say that.
Come on.
They're either telling you.
How do you know that you're allergic?
They're either going to make it easier to have sex, take a poop.
Yeah.
Go for a walk. It's just any part of your body. They're hitting you with all these ads at night. I mean, it's.
I like the woman that takes the
Jardiance?
No, she takes the Miralax and then she floats out of. she takes a poop and floats out of her house.
I like the ones though where it says, "Hey, this will cure your rash on your elbow, but it's going to destroy your liver,
and you might die.
Your rash will be gone, but so will your liver and your chance of living for only $9.99."
Well, it's like when I had prostate cancer. He's got a big thing for, I don't know what it was, Viagra or whatever, on his wall. And I'm reading all the effects that it can cause, and he goes, if you have troubles with ED after these treatments, and I said, yeah, I can have a stroke, I can have a heart attack,
and I can die.
I said, I had a good run.
I mean, the side effects are incredible for all these drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, they get them in at the very end of the commercial, but a lot of it's serious: bladder, liver, pain. I mean, just.
But if you have the disclaimer that if you're allergic, don't take this, that means somebody knew they were allergic,
took it
took it anyway.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know? Seriously, how do you know if you're allergic?
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
they knew they were allergic and they took it anyway.
But with Jardiance, you know whether you're lowering your A1C.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about, lowering your A1C.
Yeah.
My niece makes her living selling Jardiance. I ask her if she
A1C,
dances.
Isn't she a politician?
I ask her if she dances in the street. She kind of moans at those commercials. They've done. What are they having now though? What they've changed. The original lady, she's long. They got rid. They
had to get rid of her.
Didn't she become like a diva, a Jardiance diva?
She became a diva and political.
God, I mean, to think we should.
She started a podcast.
Yes, she did. There's your world, folks.
That is your world. Hey,
I started a far right podcast that even people that are far right
didn't want to hear it.
Said she doesn't know what she's talking about.
God, all because she did a Jardiance commercial.
Honest to God, yeah, because I mean, even
it must be selling, man, because they pay a ton for
Of
advertising.
course it does.
Yeah,
and it must work.
I've never
for
had
some, sure it does.
I've never had.
So if you found out you lowered your A1C, would you be dancing like in your driveway?
Poorly.
It makes you want to dance.
What makes you? Where are they going? They're
yeah, true.
Where are they walking to?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, all of a sudden they drop everything and they start walking.
It'd be funny though.
Street.
What if they do that commercial and all of a sudden they just got hit by rubber bullets from the cops for being out in the street? That would be funny.
Well, I think we may have strayed far enough.
No,
here.
wait. Did you see the Australian reporter who got hit with a rubber bullet?
No.
Oh, I felt bad. Oh God, you haven't seen.
That burst into the.
No, she was right on the street, and they just show this. Now, the one side saying he wasn't aiming at her, but it just looks it's all over Twitter. They show her just doing a live report from the street, and all of a sudden this LA just winds up and shoots her. And whether he was aiming at her, I don't know, but it was pretty stunning. And you could tell she got hit because she stumbles, almost falls to the ground, and it was crazy.
It's a mess.
And she was easy on the eyes too.
Before we take a break, KCJJ and Brown Deer Golf Course are presenting their annual Father's Day Golf Giveaway Contest. 18 qualifiers will win a round of golf for two, complete with card at Brown Deer. Call now if you would like to be one of the qualifiers.
There you go, right now. Look at that call.
Boom.
Saturday.
Look at that.
Suter.
Kaboom.
Suter will be at Bunkers Bar and Grill at Brown Deer and draw from the qualifiers.
Does that mean there's no show Saturday?
No, there's.
It means that you have the day off.
Wow.
Yeah. You have 2 days off in a row.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, do we have to pay him?
Absolutely. It's in his contract.
Oh, crap.
What do you call it? Blood money?
It's blood money. Every
you
time
always
I write a check.
Now, if it's something that I caused the absence for, you don't pay me, and rightfully so. But this one, you guys are initiating
That's right.
these absences.
This is my fault.
I'm going to maybe just come out
Every
here.
time I write a check, I get a little. I need a little mushroom.
Oh, I thought you were going to say an angel gets its wings.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll draw and give away a nice set of irons from the Pro Shop. Who is on the line?
Nathan Johnston.
So is he the first one?
No.
So you quit at 18. That's how many you're doing?
That's right.
What'd you decide on? Because of 18 holes of golf?
No, that's how many pairs of tickets.
Oh,
that,
okay. All right.
Yeah.
That Sherry Proud gave to us.
And your phone number.
319-330-2221.
3241
2221.
2221.
All right.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Good luck.
Suter will be calling
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a good promo.
Yeah.
I mean, 18 holes of golf ain't cheap these
Well,
days.
and plus somebody's going to win a set of clubs.
Well, and isn't Brown Deer a pretty nice course?
Oh, very nice.
beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I used to live near there, and I remember
Very
when it
nice.
was just being built. Alfred used to golf out there a lot. That was his place. And then you'd hear him calling, "Go, go." He'd be calling his little dog in, "Go, go." Get
Hello.
Did you already get a winner?
Yes, it is.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you've already got a winner.
We'll give a little more
Well,
away, but I only do one per
Yeah, I have no idea what's going
call.
on. I mean, you guys gotta update me.
We
on
have a
your-
winner for two. The guy that just called got 2 passes.
Yeah.
that guy who just called. That
Yes,
Mason.
got 2 free passes.
Yes.
What did he do to win? Just he called at the right
He
time.
just
That's
called
right.
when I said
That's
the
all
call.
it took was that.
And the second guy didn't get it because
That guy
he
is
was too late.
probably dancing in the streets, even if he's not on Jardians.
Yeah, it saved him
'Cause he's happy.
$100+
Now, who gets the clubs?
One of the 18.
Yeah, one of the 18.
So the guy
qualified.
that guy right there could get the clubs
He
too.
could
You
get the
betcha.
club.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he might not.
How about the poor guy that just called? What does
He's
he get?
SOL.
It's nothing.
Man, you guys.
Hopefully he can call again the next time we
you
do.
guys run. His AOC is climbing right now.
AOC.
AOC.
Yeah, I'd like to be climbing it. We'll be back.
1-800-800-ROSE. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist is the only number you need to know to send flowers anywhere in the country or Canada from anywhere in the country. 1-800-800-ROSE. It's so easy. Just remember one number. 1-800-800-ROSE. Your FTD florist. 1-800-800-ROSE. Remember.
For a gift that your loved one will treasure for a lifetime, find it at our family-owned jewelry store in Iowa City, Hertine and Stocker Jewelers.
We can show you diamond engagement rings, colored stones, fashion jewelry, and watches.
Our jewelers are on site, so we can design jewelry for that special person in your life.
We are Hertine and Stocker, serving Iowa City and the surrounding area for 3 generations.
Hertine and Stocker Jewelers, downtown Iowa City, and HertineandStockerJewelers.com. Ask for Willa, Terry, Tim, or Kate. One of us is always there.
Don't wait for an emergency to get a backup for your car keys. Unlike the olden days, car keys have gotten extremely complex. Mike's eKeys for Cars can generate the most technically advanced automotive keys that are on the market today. For spares and lost keys, Mike's eKeys for Cars can produce most conventional transponder, high security, and remote head keys. Mike's eKeys for Cars will keep you on the road. Call 319-330-9185 and schedule an appointment today. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 319-330-9185 today.
You take great care to maintain your home or business inside and out. But maybe, just maybe, there's something missing. Something that makes your home stand out among the others in your neighborhood. Something that makes your business pop and increases traffic. Something that you can change and customize at your command. Well, there's a solution, and that's Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting from Big Dog Tech. Illuminlights provides illumination for every occasion. Holiday lighting, accent lights, security, and of course lighting for all your favorite sports. The Illuminlights app lets you create your own patterns with color, motion, brightness, and static control over every individual light, or use Big Dog's presets to transform your home or business. The professionally installed track system makes Illuminlight's LEDs virtually disappear until you turn them on. Rated at 50,000 hours, you'll enjoy stress-free convenience for years to come. For more information about Illuminlight's permanent outdoor lighting, go to BigDogTEK.net or give them a call at 319-395-0800. That's 319-395-0800.
Are you tired of living in a home that doesn't quite meet your needs? Then it's time to call the experts at Streets Maintenance. Their team of skilled professionals specializes in renovations and remodeling, transforming your home into the space you've always dreamed of. From kitchen and bath remodels to complete home renovations, no job is too big or too small. Streets Maintenance will work with you every step of the way to ensure your vision becomes a reality. So don't wait any longer. Call Streets Maintenance to schedule your consultation at 400-4483. Let's start building your dream home today.
Once upon a time in the land of the Hawkeyes, a business grew. A business that would become synonymous with real estate. Hi, I'm Steve Anderson of Hawkeye Title and Settlement. When you're buying or selling your home, you'll need title and settlement services. Consider the Hawkeye Title and Settlement team. Give us a call at 351-8600. Hawkeye Title and Settlement, the team you love, the people you trust.
Don't let just anyone take care of your smile. At Diamond Dental, you can expect compassion, expertise, and a personalized care plan to protect your teeth for life. With more than 30 years of combined experience, Dr. Forbes and his staff are prepared to tackle even your toughest dental problems, leaving your smile healthy and sparkling. Diamond Dental offers a full range of general and cosmetic dentistry, as well as dental treatment options for snoring and sleep apnea. It's never too early to start thinking about what's best for your smile. Schedule an appointment today by calling 319-390-3703 or visiting the office at 5815 Consul Street Northeast, Suite D1 in Cedar Rapids. You can also visit DiamondDentalPC.com for more information. Dr. Forbes is a proud sponsor of the Hawkeye Wrestling Club and the Inner Circle. Let the Diamond Dental team provide superior care for your entire family.
This is Leah Pasha, and I've been saying, hit a deer, call Premier for years. But it's time for something new. It's still where you need to go for deer divots and door dings, as well as damaged dashboards. That's what my dad Nathan's driving at and dreams about. Why not say, when your car is dinged, be a deer and call Premier? I think Dad's going to love that. Premier Automotive, North Liberty's premier auto body repair shop.
Be a deer and call Premier Auto Body in North Liberty.
Diamond Dream Sports Academy, 20,000 square foot indoor facility, holds 8 batting cages, space for infield work, space for throwing and pitching and all your arm care needs. Offers private instruction, group lessons, camps and clinics, leagues, memberships. Rentals available at Diamond Dreams is open to the public.
Our top level instructors include former professional, college, and Olympic athletes. Our coaches will help these athletes achieve their full athletic potential, develop a strong work ethic, and a solid base to build. The last thing you want to do is look back and wish you had worked or played harder.
Locally owned and established in 2005, Diamond Dreams is Eastern Iowa's premier training facility. Located at 2905 Stoner Court, North Liberty. Call today and reserve your time. 319-665-2173. 319-665-2173.
When you go to a family restaurant, you want 3 things. 1, a wide selection of breakfast, lunch, and dinner items. 2, you want those selections to be affordable and delicious. And 3, you want to be treated like family. You get all 3 at the Midtown Family Restaurant. Breakfast items available anytime the doors are open. Legendary tenderloins, onion rings, and hot roast beef sandwiches. Daily specials at each location, and no matter if you're coming in solo or with a group of 20, you get the same special family treatment. The Midtown Family Restaurants at Court and Scott Streets and at the Walmart Plaza on Highway 1 West. Follow them on Facebook or at MidtownFamily.com. The family's waiting for you. GT Carr, owner of Supple's Building and Remodeling, has been offering unmatched service and quality for over 25 years. The trained professionals at Supple's Building and Remodeling will install and guarantee the products used in any job, no matter how big or small. They also stand behind their work and offer no-nonsense, exceptional customer service from design to completion and beyond. Whether it's a simple window replacement or a major house addition, you'll have the confidence that Supple's Building and Remodeling is committed to quality. Visit Supples.net or call them today at 319-337-2246.
Hi, this is Tiffany at Senior Benefits. Are you confused with Medicare questions, anything having to do with Medicare? I take care of all Medicare customers, people under 65. I also do life insurance, long-term care, cancer insurance. I'm here to help you navigate any questions that you may be having or frustrations and anxiety that you may have with Medicare or insurance in general. Give me, Tiffany Rao, a call at 319-631-4795.
We've said it for years. We want to give you our best price or most competitive price up front, and now Ford's brought that to the table.
Just makes you feel good.
Patrick Eads and Terry Adams with Deary Ford.
It's a true Ford employee pricing plan.
As if you work for Ford or you're a retiree from Ford.
You could walk in and buy a new Ford for less money than I could purchase one for.
I have never seen Ford do a sale like this.
The From America, for America event.
Sale extended through July 6th. Deary Ford, Iowa City.
When we say here for you, we mean it.
It's a great deal.
At the Oxyoke Inn, we're ready to serve you with the same fresh food, prepared to order and served with the passion that you've come to expect for over 85 years. The Oxyoke Inn is serving our famous Sunday brunch buffet with lunch, dinner, family-style banquets, and carry-out daily. Make reservations at oxyokeinn.com or call for big or small tables and private rooms. We can't wait to serve you soon at the Oxyoke Inn.
The Oxyoke Inn.
In the heart of Amana.
From the Hertine and Stalker Studios in the heart of the Hawkeye Nation, this is the mighty 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City.
Hertine and Stalker Jewelers, making memories, making moments.
It is going to be partly cloudy and maybe a little on the breezy side today. Our high in the low to mid-70s this afternoon, with wind out of the northwest at around 10 to 20, occasionally gusting to 25. An isolated sprinkle or two possible late morning to early afternoon. Otherwise, there should be quite a bit of sunshine today. Tonight, clear. We'll drop down to 53. Tomorrow, sunny and warmer, 83 by Wednesday. Sunny with a high of 90. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Right now, it's 64.
KCJJ weather, brought to you by Plum Supply.
Plum Supply, kitchens and baths. Your home never looks so beautiful.
This Friday, it's another KCJJ radio auction. What did we call this one?
This is the Friday the 13th auction, Steve.
Okay. I call it a day off.
Yeah. Yeah, the Friday the 13th. The last time we had one, we had a major flood and had to cancel.
Well, then don't have.
Well, that was one of them. We've had one since.
We had one since.
Yeah.
Then you should cancel it. And
yeah, the savings will be spectacular. Hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning.
I find your discussion this morning about CTE really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know who this is, don't you?
This is this rugby gym?
Yeah, it is.
You got any rugby scores?
No rugby scores, but I fall in that category of concussions. What is there a movie out about that?
It was 2015.
Yeah, called Concussion. Will Smith played the
Called
doctor.
Concussion?
Concussion, yeah.
Concussion?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious about symptoms and things of that nature. I've discussed with physicians things of that nature.
Did you play a lot of football in your day?
Huh?
Probably from rugby.
Did you play a lot of football in your day, or are you talking about from rugby?
I've had more than my fair share.
From football or rugby?
Not from football, but all from rugby.
Okay.
I even had some prior to being in the service and playing rugby, and it all adds up. But it's always when I talk to physicians, they want to cram antipsychotics down your throat and things of that nature, and they don't have a clue. Back in the day, when I was younger, kids got ADHD or something, But there's been so many things, breakthroughs over the years of symptoms of those things that really they that and PTSD, that they're still learning. It's still practicing medicine, and one person's symptoms are completely different than the others, And,
exactly.
And whenever that topic comes up, it really sparks my interest, and I just wanted to weigh in on it. And
well, I appreciate that.
There's some things I'd like to say, but I'd preferably want to do that if I was in privacy with some of you all. And,
well, I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah, and but I just wanted to weigh in and say hello and keep in touch.
All right. We appreciate it, Rugby Jim.
I'll see you at Marcos.
You bet. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
Take care, man.
I've seen him like 3 times. I go into Marcos, and he's there eating.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. One time he was eating grilled cheese with bacon and tater tots.
Oh, that's my favorite there.
And they got
grilled cheese with bacon and tater tots is one kick-ass meal.
Got the chili cheese dogs.
I've had one of their chili cheese.
Fantastic.
I've had one of those. Yep.
Yeah.
But they got this for less than $3. You can get either tater tots and French fries with a drink for like $2.58. It's a great little snack.
Is that in conjunction with the sandwich, though?
No, you don't have to get. No, you
don't.
You can just. It's supposed to be a fountain drink, but they've been nice to let me get the can of diet because I don't. They don't have any diets. I don't drink regular pop anymore, so they
do have some diet pop.
Yeah, but they don't have Diet Mountain Dew. I think they have Diet Coke or Pepsi.
They have the sugar-free Coke, which is very good.
Yeah,
that's good.
It tastes like gutter juice. I've tried all the diets, and there's Diet Mountain Dew is about the only one
Coke Zero.
I've tried that. Pepsi Zero, and it's
they're both good.
Mountain Dew Zero. I mean, there's so many different ones. But
so you're saying they're properly named?
Well, yeah. I just I can drink Diet Mountain Dew. That's the one thing I can if I want carbonation. But I'm sort of weeding myself off. I'm not drinking as much pop as I used to, just because it's getting kind of boring.
What about the people that manufacture pop that depend on you to drink the pop?
No, they're gonna. I'm sure there's plenty of others who will fill my role.
My uncle's owned a Pepsi factory in Burlington.
My uncle worked for a Pepsi in Des Moines many years ago. But no, they do. That's a good deal, though. They give you the tater tot. You literally get like 20 in
those
and they're great.
And they give you a
those
massive
are
order.
Perfectly cooked.
Yeah, they are.
They really are.
Now, okay, Marco's tater tots or Taco John's.
To me, they're about the same.
Olays.
They're just a different shape.
But Marco's advertises, so you
yes,
got to say Marco's.
So Marco's,
right?
Well, plus they're closer.
They're closer.
Yeah.
And
for me to get Taco John's, it takes 25 minutes to get out there.
Yeah, me too.
20 minutes.
But lots of times when I'm out in that area, that's where I end up going.
Well, yes, sadly.
That is sadly where I end up
going.
With
all the great restaurants that Coralville has, and they do.
I drive right by them and go to Taco John's. I do. I seriously do.
Drive by Longhorn.
Drive by Longhorn, Noodles and Company, all these just right to Taco. Five Guys is right next door.
Well, don't ever go there in the winter.
Well, I don't go.
Because they don't turn the heat on.
I don't go there any time of year because it's just too expensive.
What's that, Five Guys?
Five Guys.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Taco John's.
Oh, well, I've been there when it's cold, yes. Now, like I said, Freddy's is as good or better than Five Guys, and it's half the price.
Yeah, no,
Freddy's, I think, is better.
I'll take that every time.
Actually, I do think Freddy's is better.
Yeah.
I do think, their fries are better, and I think their burgers are better. And I can eat at Freddy's. They don't ask you for a tip. And you can eat, I think it's $9.80 for a double with fries. In this day and age, that is a great deal.
It is.
They don't advertise with it. They never will. They're national. I've never seen them advertise anywhere except for on TV a few times.
They were on one of our auctions.
Yeah.
They did do one of your.
They did.
Okay, but they're not going to be someone you're going to get monthly.
No.
That's just, they don't. Taco John's, have you ever had them on an auction?
Yes, we have, actually.
And they're another one that won't advertise. They don't need to advertise, I guess, locally. A lot of these big chains just don't do that, do they?
No, they don't.
They just don't. I mean, we have Shields Sport in both of our websites, but like I've said, it's more out of community support. You think Shields would never survive without advertising on Hawk Fanatic. People wouldn't know about them. Do you believe that, Captain?
No.
I was being sarcastic.
No.
But no, I appreciate that. They're doing it to support the community. High school sports, Hawkeye sports, that's a big part of this community, and that's part of. I know a buddy of mine who works there and says that's part of what they do. They like different ways to support the community. And like I said, it's greatly appreciated. They sponsor the Athlete of the Week on both websites and have for years.
That's very cool.
And now, like I said, I rarely used to go there because it's just on the part of town that I don't get out too much. But now, anytime I get shoes, I go to Shields. I make the effort to go out there and buy all my stuff.
That's a great story.
Oh, they do have great stuff.
Yeah.
They have their shoes. Their shoes and everything. Yeah, no, it is. And there's every once in a while I don't mind going out to the mall. It's actually, I'll do the mall. 6 loops is close, about 6.5, 7 loops is about 5 miles at the mall. And what's funny is the few times I've gone out there, in the old days, it used to be people older than me walk. You see a lot of young people mall walking now. You know, you really do. That's what I was. The last time I was out there, I did a few loops because I had to run errands, and I was probably the oldest person mall walking. There were like you'd see like groups of 3 or 4 women who look like they're in their 30s and 40s, and they're flying, going around the perimeter of this thing.
Yeah. Did they give you a glance?
No, I gave them a glance. I actually stalked them for a while, and then security came.
But they were walking too fast?
No, actually, I was walking faster. I do walk pretty fast, I will say. But, yeah, they got creeped out. And I'm kidding, of course. Kidding. I kid because I care. You probably don't get out to the mall much, do you? Coral Ridge?
I used to.
I used to work out there because Skeffington used to be out there. Did you get out to the mall much?
We get out to the bookstore from time to time.
Yeah, that's where I end up gravitating.
Go to Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble.
And we buy clothes and stuff at Dillard's.
Yeah, Dillard's has been.
I've
got a Dillard's account that it's probably closed. I haven't used it in 25 years.
And I'll go into Best Buy and look at stuff.
You know that Mellow Mushroom, that place where that's still vacant. There's nothing.
Is it?
That's a big open space there. There's nothing there.
I went. We just bought a computer from Best Buy. You know, you used to buy the computer and the laptop, and it had everything on it.
I got to get a new one.
And now it's got nothing on it, and you got to buy separately Windows.
What kind did you get? I have a Hewlett Packard.
I think we got an Acer.
Acer?
Okay. I had that before. I didn't have Asus is what I had before. But yeah, I got to get a new one. They're just like cell phones. The moment you get used to them and everything, they become outdated. And I mean, cell phones, they basically want you to buy a cell phone, pay it off over 2-3 years, and then by the time you pay it off, you need a new one. And you're constantly always on some payment
That's
plan.
the idea.
Well, they've been pushing me, and there's nothing wrong with my phone.
No, I've got an S21, and it's fine.
Well, I laugh at you.
I don't know.
What do you have, like a 24?
23.
I think this is a 5th iPhone.
Yeah, they want me to get a 24 or 20. It's,
okay.
You know.
I've had a couple of people reach out to me asking when we're going to have Iowa football and men's basketball interviews, and I reached out to Matt. He said in the next 7 to 10 days they'll announce. Because, you know, the women have 4 media opportunities starting on June 26th. My guess is football and men's basketball will have probably 2 each at least. So, yeah, we're going to start in late June and July. We're going to have a lot of Iowa. Now, granted, it's going to be, you know, summer talk. But it's better than nothing.
It is.
I mean, Hayden's days, we didn't see anything in the summer.
I mean, I love the kids for this year's class are all on campus now, or almost all are.
Well, that's pretty much every year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're an incoming freshman, the days of coming in 2 weeks before school starts, you come in for the summer.
Long gone.
And you also take summer classes.
Yeah.
I mean,
and summer workouts.
Summer workouts, because that allows them. What was it, the caller the other day said that they can take as few as 6 hours during a semester, as long as they get enough credits to stay eligible. But that's what summer school.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my day, not many people went to summer school. I just don't remember it. Even people that played Division I sports, I remember most of them would come home and work for the summer. Yeah. Work construction jobs, get as much money as they could, and work out and stuff. But now it's year round. It is a year round commitment.
All right, Captain, I need a confession out of you. Truth on the air. Okay, both Captain and I have later model Camrys. Right?
Yeah.
Have you tried to get into my car yet?
No.
By mistake?
No.
No? Okay.
Why?
I have tried to get into yours.
Well, yours is black and mine
But they're close enough, and they're both right there. No, I have totally, and so is Wapsie.
Oh, Wapsie. Well, I don't care if you you want to take it for a spin, fine. Except I'm not insured for you, but no, I have not. No, yours is. They're different. Even though
they are.
Yeah.
Oh, I find myself at Hy-Vee going out and getting into wait, this isn't my car. Do you know how many cars look like a 8-9-year-old Honda Accord white?
Well,
they're all over the place.
Same thing with black Fusion.
Oh yeah,
when I had the Fusion. Seriously, I was at Hy-Vee, and there were 2 other black Fusions, like a car and a car away from me. I didn't know.
Well, I think one time I was actually, why does my key work? I'm like, oh, shite, this isn't my car.
Luke, good catch. You were close.
Oh, I knew. I know. I had that. My mom. That was my mom's word. She always said shite.
Yeah.
If she, at least when I was around. I mean, and if she got really mad, she might, change it. But it was always shite. We can say that on there. They can't get us for that.
They can get us
for anything.
They can get us for anything.
When you say they, are you talking about the deep state?
The
radio swamp.
Well,
is that what you're talking about? The radio swamp.
We're in a swamp.
Oh, hey, I wrote a column since I'm supposed to, I guess, promote our stuff on Hard. I wrote a column last night saying, and I was kind of given the idea again when Iowa announced its Hall of Fame class late last week, 7 athletes and Bob Bowlesby, and all those athletes are deserving. Man, I forgot how good that. Justin Austin was as a sprinter, and
yeah, he was.
Brandon Sheriff. But, and I don't care if he didn't make All-America. It's time to put Cedric Shaw in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he's the only running back.
Absolutely.
He's the only running back in program history to rush for over 4,000 yards. He leads Liddell Betts by 378 rushing yards, number 2. And I just think they need to make an exception. The thing with Cedric is he doesn't have the All-America accolades. He only made first-team All-Big Ten as a senior in 96, and yet his best season, his junior year, when he rushed for almost 1,500 yards, he didn't even make second-team All-Big Ten because the running backs were Eddie George, the Heisman Trophy winner, and Darnell Autry from Northwestern on the first team, and the second team was Tim Biakabatuka and Mike Allstott.
Wow.
What
a year for running
I would
backs.
argue, though, that Cedric's season, not Eddie George, of course, but, you could have made a strong case for Cedric, too. But, yeah, that was an incredible year for running backs. So hopefully they put him in because I think back to that game at Michigan State, October 7th, 1995. Iowa wins 21-7. Hayden gives Cedric the ball 42 times for 250 yards. That was a team that I'm not sure if Tavian was healthy that day, but Tim DeWhite, Damon Gibson, they had tons of talent on that team, and yet Hayden still felt the best plan was to give the ball to Cedric 42 times. That says a lot. I just think he needs to be in the overtime or in the Hall of Fame. And I wrote that last night, and almost every Iowa fan that has responded. Pretty much everyone has agreed.
Well, the all-time rushing leader for Iowa, why wouldn't they be?
Yeah,
why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, I mean, especially with, he was a 3-year starter, but even his freshman year, he played a ton, and he didn't play on great teams his whole time. 93 and 94, they weren't very good.
No, they weren't.
That was half of his career. So I just think that's one that's long overdue, and I'm not taking away anything from the 7 athletes that made it in. They're all deserving. Bowlesby, obviously I think the criteria is a little different for an administrator. I think you could argue his case either way. And maybe
he's had quite a career.
Not
just here.
But he's honored for what he did here?
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do, because I don't think Brandon Scherf got in Iowa Hall of Fame because of what he's done in the pros. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it just has to do with what you did here. And I think, to me, Bowlesby, you think based on what he did here for 15 years, do you think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, Bowlesby?
In the Iowa Hall of Fame? Yeah. Okay, see,
he was mean to us.
I'm half and half on that. Maybe I'm biased because Bowlesby and I didn't like each other during the Alford stuff. But, does just longevity...
I don't think he handled the Dr. Tom situation properly.
And then he hired Alford. Those are two major screws up.
They are.
And to me, that's Exhibit A on why I think you could make an argument for why he shouldn't be in. But, it's not. It's not like I'm going to go write a column. This is ridiculous. He shouldn't be in. I don't care enough.
At me.
Okay, but, it's not all about you. Let's just try to talk without having to bring.
It was me.
But yeah, I had some run-ins with Bowlesby. I had some nasty run-ins with Bowlesby, and it was during the peak of the Alford stuff, And I'm trying to think, what else did Bowlesby do? He had, some will say, well, he screwed up the Bobby Stoops thing. Okay, but Kirk turned out to be pretty good. I don't think you can use not hiring Bobby Stoops as a strike because they got Kirk Ferentz out of it, and he was part of that. I'll give him that. Let's see. Barta handled the Gail Blevins, Marla Looper disaster, so that's on Barta.
Yes.
I think Bowlesby hired Tom Brands back. That was a no-brainer. I'm trying to think what else did.
But Bowlesby probably also hired Jimmy Zaleski, didn't he?
Yeah, and
that didn't work out.
No, that's
quite
what
as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think where Bowlesby did a lot of good with facilities fundraising. He was great at that stuff.
Yeah.
He was very bright. He was good at it. So I get it. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to. I just think that if Bob Bowlesby can be in the Iowa Hall of Fame, then so can Cedric Shaw, whether one's an administrator or an athlete. And hopefully that will be the case.
Well, I personally would put Cedric Shaw in way ahead of Bowlesby.
So would I.
I looked at this maybe a couple weeks ago, one of the articles that was written, and remember that I think it was a Minnesota game when it wasn't televised, and Bowlesby said, when we were doing the games, Bowlesby said, "Well, that ought to do it for him." And he quoted,
Tulsa.
Was it Tulsa?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that ought to do it for him. To say how are they going to do that, and then you were in the stands.
Well, we had people all over. Terry Mullenbrook was in the parking garage watching the Jumbotron. I was in the stands. Anthony was at Grizzlies, and Jeff Wick was in the press box.
Yeah.
Stepped out of the press box.
Yeah, Anthony was listening because it wasn't televised.
And what's crazy is at the time I had no clue what you guys were doing. But Rob Howe actually ended up doing a story on it, I think. I didn't do it.
God,
Rob wrote the story.
We got so much damn coverage.
Was Rob supportive or anti?
I don't think he cared. I don't. I don't think he had a feeling either way. My guess is he would have been in favor of it, but like I said, I don't think he really had a opinion either way. I didn't either because I guess I just didn't know what was going on. I was just oblivious to it. And I guess that's as much on me as anything.
Well, it was kind of our fight, too.
No? Well, yeah, and I just didn't. I mean, before Feeney I didn't really know you guys existed until Feeney bridged that gap. Feeney. Yeah. He was the one who brought us together.
And now John is kind of falling off.
Yeah, Anthony actually brought you together.
Well, no, because Feeney had already. I mean, Feeney was when he said, "Hey, Anthony's ripping you on the radio." That's how I learned about who you guys were. Learned who you guys were. And then I went to that Christmas party and saw Anthony. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to be mean to this guy? So then I knew that it was a one-sided. He was going to be able to ridicule me nonstop, and there was nothing I could say in return. Well, there was plenty I could have said in return, but it would have been mean and uncalled for. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, he didn't rip you after he met you, did he?
I don't know.
He did.
I'm not sure if he did or not. I knew it was just part of his shtick. That was his shtick, wasn't it?
Yes.
Ripping people.
Yeah.
Chaos. Radio chaos. Isn't that what that was his fuel?
I don't know about chaos.
He caused some chaos.
Yeah, he caused chaos, especially for Suter.
Yeah, it didn't make things easier for me.
Financial chaos.
I will admit.
How's that Hampshire arrangement doing?
It's still going.
He's been dead since 2008.
Yeah, I think that's a little extreme, but have the people not changed there? Is it the same people?
Oh, no, completely different.
So that's just part of they carry.
It's a tradition.
It's a tradition there. Hey, that obnoxious radio station.
Yes,
we don't do anything with them.
Nothing.
We might listen to them, but we don't do business with them.
You got it.
I'm trying to think. The last time I was at Hampshire, I believe, was sadly Bobby Elliott's funeral.
Oh wow, really?
I believe so. Yeah.
We generally go once or twice a year, probably. There's something that we really want to see.
Yeah, but you like plays and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't do plays.
You look at him. You like plays or something.
Plays. Do you go to plays?
I haven't in a long time. I've gone.
I don't think I've ever gone to one.
I've gone to a
I'm
couple
sure maybe
plays.
I have at some point.
Yeah.
Do people? Yeah,
I like movies better.
Me too. But hey, to each his own.
Boy, I don't watch a lot of movies.
I'll tell you,
for whatever reason.
CNN broadcasts that Broadway play with Clooney.
Yeah, I didn't watch 1 second of that.
It was strong, and it was amazing this how they did the sets.
But wasn't it it was very political, wasn't it? It was just.
It was Edward R. Murrow. It wasn't. I mean, it was historic. I don't know that it was political.
Okay, yeah, like I said, I just didn't. Did you watch it?
I didn't. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh God, CNN promoted it.
Good night. It was a movie too. Good night and good luck.
Yeah, remember?
I've heard of it.
Edward R. Murrow.
Yes, I've heard of
it. Yeah, it wasn't a political. It's historic. It's what happened.
But I was reading people, Clooney's got to run for president. I mean, anybody who shows a pulse now needs to run for president. They are going to be the savior. I mean,
he already said that's
why would anyone vote for George freaking Clooney?
Well, that's what he said.
You know,
that's exactly what he said. But this was he was really damn good as Merle. Except the only thing, if you wanted to criticize, he didn't smoke enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
Edward R. Murrow
would have a cigarette in his hand and one in his mouth.
And it killed him.
Didn't he die of lung cancer in his 60s?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or was he younger than that?
He was in his 50s, wasn't he? I guess I'm not positive.
I mean, isn't that how Nat King Cole died too with lung cancer?
Mm-hmm.
And every time I saw him, he had a cigarette. I mean, but that was also it hadn't come out. I just still can't believe people didn't think prior to the Surgeon General telling them that inhaling something 800 times a day was good.
And all the doctors smoked too.
I know, but didn't anyone think deep down that this probably ain't
he
good
was
for
57.
Yeah,
57.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was lung cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't he one? He'd light the next one before putting the.
Oh, he was
unfiltered.
Yeah. Yeah, he was smoking all the time.
Wow. Could not imagine just constantly having something in that would drive me nuts. But, I've never had a nicotine addiction, thank God.
I have.
And I know people that have it. It grips them.
I loved every single one I had, but it was the hardest thing to quit.
I know some people that I know.
Kid you not.
My dad did it cold turkey. I don't know how he did it. He just boom.
Well, ultimately, I did too.
About 1966, he was done, and he had smoked 3 packs a day for 15 years.
My dad had a heart attack in his 50s, and that was it. He stopped smoking. My mom smoked till she died. 2 weeks before she died.
Some of it's just the luck
As
of the draw.
did my grandmother did too. She smoked for 60 years.
And my uncle was 99.
When she was 92.
Still drinking.
Look at Keith Richards.
Still drinking and smoking.
I think I read Keith Richards was like in his 80s.
I love that meme where it's Adam and Eve and God and Keith Richards. And God says, he was here when I got here.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, his body is just, it's incredible. He's never let himself get out of shape. He's never been heavy. That's why he's living so long. But I read some stuff about him in the 70s. He was just nonstop partying.
Yeah.
But again, luck of the draw. Now, someone like Mick Jagger, I know he's probably, but he's also in pretty good shape just from how much he moves.
No, he is, exactly.
I don't know what his drug intake over the years has been, but man, that guy, you see him rehearsing for a concert, and he burns more calories than most people.
When we were on stage for 10 straight years, we were skinny as
burn a lot of calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do, just from the natural movement and whatever. But Mick, I'm guessing he probably puts in 20,000 steps in a concert, going up and around that stage. Because he still moves around at his age now he did 30 years ago. It's incredible.
No, he is.
It really is incredible.
Nat King Cole, when he got lung cancer, he was going to Mayo
Clinic, yeah.
And I don't remember, somebody in Jan's family saw him he was broke down on the side of the road, had a flat tire, and they helped him change the tire. And
did he sing to him?
No, he sent him a color TV.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my dad loved him.
Yeah.
He was always humming his.
Yeah,
what's that they tried to tell us we're too young?
Yeah.
My dad was always humming that.
If you look, I collect some old TV guides from different parts of the country. And if you look, his ratings in the North, other than Boston, were exceptional. And he had a 15-minute show followed by NBC News.
Didn't he have Mona Lisa too? Wasn't that another one of his songs?
Yeah.
Mona Lisa.
And if you look at the Southern TV guides, hardly a station would carry him.
Yeah, well,
it's just ridiculous.
It's not a surprise. That's who we were, and
he had one of the best voices.
And he was in his. How old was he when he died? Wasn't he in his 50s? Because, like I said, any publicity photo I see of Nat King, he's almost always got a cigarette in his hand.
Yeah, he was, I think, in his 50s as well.
Let's see. they tried to tell us.
So what was the purpose of CNN doing that Edward R. Murrow thing right now? What was the timing of it? There's usually something, a peg. Was this just, why were they doing it? Does that have anything to do with the current state of affairs?
The state of affairs with news media. Yeah.
So basically, the part of the message was they're worried that because the Trump administration is taking such harsh steps against media.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a way to. I knew there had to be some type of slant to it.
Well, Scott Pelley was on afterward.
And I saw his speech at Wake Forest has caught a lot of attention.
Yeah. And Pelley said, when they had William Paley at CBS, he would champion the new. I mean,
I know.
Even if he didn't agree with it,
you saw Terry Moran suspended.
Yeah, even if he didn't agree with it, and then Pelley goes, and Pelley's still employed by CBS. He said, "We don't get that today. We've got the crown jewel program of journalism, 60 Minutes."
I love the people on Twitter. 60 Minutes sucks. Nobody those. You see some guy with like 8 followers, and it's like some meme is his thing, and and it's. I mean, ripping 60 Minutes. Still, they do a.
That's what I hate about social media. It props up morons.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of them too, I think, are bots.
I mean,
I really do think a lot of them are bots.
Well, some of them are,
but 60 Minutes is still in the top 10.
It's a well done.
Has been since freaking the 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Remember when it was Morley Safer and who else?
Dan Rather?
Just Dan
Andy
Rather.
Rooney.
Just Andy Rooney. God, remember Andy Rooney. I remember him.
Do you remember?
I used to watch that pretty much religiously.
I did too. I still watch it some. I mean,
we watch it every Sunday.
Yeah, no, I still watch it some. Do you ever watch Bill Maher?
No, never.
I'll watch the replay. I don't get HBO anymore, but I'll watch. CNN shows his replay on Saturday night. I'll watch it because sometimes he has interesting guests. I mean, like this past week, I can't remember who he. Well, he had what's her name from MSNBC, the Stephanie Rule. They had her on, and then somebody else. And I mean, it's. I don't agree with everything he says, but it usually does lead to good discussion.
Yeah,
he had Kevin McCarthy, and he gets guests from all over the place. And he had Kevin McCarthy on recently, and
let him put Charlie McCarthy on, and then I'll be impressed.
And his stand-up is usually pretty good, but I think Bill Maher sometimes takes himself too seriously as far as a political influencer. And a lot of people,
I think so.
It's just so easy to do that.
I don't watch
now.
him very often.
It's just so easy to do that, now with. Especially with somebody who's been around as successful as him. I mean, I remember watching his stand-up in the mid-'80s.
There was some speaking of Charlie there's an Ed Sullivan. I was going through the channels, and there was an old Ed Sullivan with Charlie McCarthy. And what's this? The puppeteer.
Is that Edgar Bergen?
Yeah, Edgar Bergen. He's moving his lips constantly. He's just, I mean, it worked on radio.
That was before my time. The best was the movie Magic with Anthony Hopkins. Remember that movie?
No.
With Anne Margaret and Anthony Hopkins. They had the little doll that possessed. You don't remember that?
No.
Great movie. Anne Margaret and Anthony Hopkins. Magic.
Margaret.
Google it.
Love
Watch
me some Anne Margaret.
Yeah.
This is Anne Margaret. This came out in late 70s. It wasn't a huge hit, but it was. I'm surprised you guys haven't heard of it. Anthony Hopkins had his little doll that kind of overtook everyone.
Anne Margaret's in her 80s and still.
I read she's been married to the same man for like 60 years or something.
He was, yeah. God, he died. Yeah. Roger Smith from 77.
Boy,
Sunset Strip.
Did he ever win at the game of life?
He had Maya Stevia gravis.
He had Anne Margaret for 50 years.
Yeah. And then and it went into remission. But he was sick for a long time. But yeah, he was her manager.
No, I know. I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Magic. It was actually it was a creepy movie. Anthony Hopkins was really good in it, and he wasn't yet famous.
Well, he's kind of creepy
in everything.
Usually,
no, he's a good actor.
Anne Margaret at the end of Bye Bye Birdie when she's on the treadmill, basically. Oh God,
I haven't seen it.
She's just smoking.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it for 50 years, so
I've never remember. Seen it. Was Bye Bye Birdie was that a series?
No,
it's a musical.
Musical.
I've never. Jesus.
musical.
God, some of the stuff you guys bring up.
Did you hear about Hugo and Kim?
Yeah.
Okay, Bye Bye Birdie or Karate Kid 2?
Bye Bye Birdie.
Karate Kid 2 was on the other day. I happened to be surfing. Mr. Miyagi. They were over in Okinawa. That was where where those songs by Chicago came. Glory of Love with Peter Cetera. Remember those things?
Yeah.
God,
that's
to think. I kept remembering. God, that was part of old Chicago.
He just wrecked those.
But he made a ton of money on it.
Yeah, but
Sure he did.
Those things made huge.
He was very famous for that time.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, though. I thought the songs were terrible.
Awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
And that movie was awful. The first one was okay. I mean, I watched the first Karate Kid. You probably didn't. You were.
I did. No,
but I thought it was okay.
One. It was okay.
The second one was silly. And then by the time at the end, he was training. What's her name? The female women's actress. You know,
with an H.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary
Swank. That was the last Karate Kid thing. Then they had the Karate Kid 3 where he was tricked by and just.
And then he was running. The diner where the kids on Happy Days would.
What was his name in that character? What was his name in Happy Days? Arnold? No.
Arnold.
Was it Arnold? Okay.
Yeah. Arnold, and then he was replaced by Al.
Big Al, yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Al Molinaro.
Great guy.
Not a huge fan of Happy Days. I mean, it was okay.
Yeah. I loved it.
I just never.
I liked it a lot.
Never worked.
It's okay. Fonz, greatest character.
He's 40 playing a high school guy, and they make him tough, and he's like 5'8".
40.
He was 30. We've already looked this up. He was in his.
But he was way past high school.
Oh, it was just silly.
Well, 90210. The gal was like 34 years old.
I never watched that. And then, of course, the most famous one is Grease, Stockard Channing, when she was in her 50s, playing a pink lady. She was actually in her 30s. You remember that?
Though, yeah.
She was good as a character, but I'm like, God, she's old enough to be...
Said the teacher by many years.
Yes.
Hello.
Rizzo.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. This is John Ballmer.
Hey, John.
Hey, I'm with you, Captain. I was a big Happy Days fan. Pat, you're not with it.
I must not be
Yawn.
with it. Yeah, I must not be with it.
Hey, I'm going down to Kansas City, my wife and I, tomorrow to see the Yankees and Royals.
Fun.
And they're after they blew their series against Boston this past weekend. What it pointed out was their glaring deficiency in pitching.
Well, they better
They don't pitch Whitey Ford enough.
They better spend some money.
Yeah, Whitey Ford. Yeah, they could bring him back, and Ryan Duran, or Hey, your Cubs are doing well, Pat.
They sure
Yeah,
are.
they are. They are playing well, and they're in an easy division.
So, yeah, well, they're winning the games they have to win, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're beating the teams they have to. Now, St. Louis is surprisingly better. We're going to see the Yankees in St. Louis in August.
Although they lost yesterday, didn't they?
Series.
I thought St. Louis got beat yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, but they won 2 or 3 from the Dodgers. Though,
Uh-huh.
I think.
Yeah, the Dodgers are struggling.
They won. Yeah, the Dodgers really are the team to beat because they've got a lot. Now, besides the firepower, they've got the pitching. Too,
But haven't they been struggling though this year?
Yeah.
By their standards?
Oh, a little bit. Yeah, but they can unleash those bats.
Oh yeah,
They'll get into the hot summer.
And the Mets are pretty. The Mets are good this year.
Dog-ass Mets are real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Mets, unfortunately, the amazing Mets. I have to listen to that.
And I'm going to change the
nonsense.
subject. I said, how about my high school alma mater? Not only does Dowling have Caitlin Clark, but the MVP of the College World Series, her name is Tegan Caven. She played at Dowling, but she never played for Dowling softball because she was so good she club pitched. She was the MVP.
Really?
She outdueled the $1 million phenom from Texas Tech and was named the most outstanding player at the World Series. And I had no idea she went to Dowling.
Wow.
Because they were talking about, oh, yeah, she's from West Des Moines. And I'm like, who is this? And then when they said she went to Dowling, I'm like, why haven't I heard of her? And then I looked it up and it said I don't think she ever played softball for Dowling because she was so good she went right to club sports.
Really strange.
Yeah, it's
why
weird.
would that? Would
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I don't recall her ever playing for Dowling. But man, is she good?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously she's outstanding. But that's really strange that she wouldn't play for high school.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything for high school.
Yeah, that's odd, isn't it?
Well, if you're so good, these club sports, I like I said, I couldn't see anything that indicated she played for Dowling. And if I'm wrong, I will stand corrected.
Yeah.
And I don't recall her. I never had heard of her until I started watching that softball game the other night. I'm like, this girl's from West Des Moines Dowling, and she is really good, really good.
Yeah, I know these club things are kind of a big deal anymore, but it's too bad in my mind what's happened as far as sports as general, especially on the youth side. The constant, they want to specialize and all that good stuff. And
it's funny. I Googled her name, and right away it said Tegan Cavan High School when it came.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to see. She got
Well, you talk about that, John, and the Iowa women's basketball program just offered an 8th grader.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, they've done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, they've done that before.
Yeah,
I mean, this
gal
is
named Stoops.
Yeah, this is nothing. It's Kayvon attended Dowling Catholic High School in West Des Moines. She played travel softball for Iowa Premier Fast Pitch, where she recorded 1,444 strikeouts and 772 and 2/3 innings with 45 shutouts and 6 no-hitters.
Not bad.
Jeez.
But there's no reference of anything she did for Dowling.
Wow.
Yeah,
Holy bucket.
Yeah, it's incredible. Now, if you're Iowa, you'd love to be able to keep someone like that home, but, I mean, it's not easy when a school like Texas comes at you with the weather, with the tradition, the money.
When they're throwing money at them like they do, too. Good Lord.
And it's all part of the game.
Yep.
So, Tom, who was the 8th grader that we offered to?
Her last name was Stoops. I think
Bob's daughter.
I don't think it's any relation.
I'm kidding.
I believe she's from, I can't remember, somewhere in Indiana. But I was really, I mean, yeah, they've done it before, but that's man, that's the world now.
Mm-hmm. I don't write stories like that. I mean, I'm sure it's all. I mean, I just wait for a while because a lot of times they get an offer, then you never hear from them again. But some people, the moment that offer comes, they're right on it. Story update. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite show? Who are our top 40 schools at this stage? It's nonstop.
She'll change her mind half a dozen times.
Well, we were the first to offer, so
that must
whatever that's worth.
I'm guessing she's going to be a Hawk. That's my guess.
Well, let's keep your fingers crossed.
I'll take the field on that one.
But I give Jan credit for being aggressive. I mean,
I do too. I'm a big fan of Jan's.
Fran was often the first one to offer guys.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
And ended up not having enough NIL money, and other schools. Fran did not lose guys just because of NIL, but that was a factor. But when you lose guys to North Carolina and Kentucky, it's not just NIL, but it was a factor.
Yeah, boy. Speaking of losing people, did you see we're passing up Ken Grabinski?
I heard that. I heard that Saturday. I was talking to Grandpa Dirk, and he said that Ken Grabinski passed.
I did not hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. How old was he?
We're great family friends. 75. He went to bed Tuesday night and didn't wake up, and Patty found him the next morning. It was just shocking.
Was it a heart attack?
There was no warning. He played. He still has maintained good friendships with Fred Brown.
Yeah, no, he helped us get Fred.
Years.
He's the one who helped us get Fred. He and Gator helped us get Fred on the radio. Was it a heart attack? Have they released a cause?
Well, I'm not sure at this juncture. That would be possibly my guess.
Yeah, last time I saw him, he's always been in decent shape. But I mean,
he Ken walked all the time.
I know. I used to see him walking all the
time.
time. 75's not
worked
real
at
nice
State Line Golf Course. Volunteered over there. Yeah, I talked to several people that said, I played golf with him or saw him at the golf course Tuesday, and this was just like a bolt out of the blue.
Wow.
I was shocked.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Yeah, it needless to say.
Meanwhile, I'm 76 and I sit on the couch, and here I am today.
Yeah. You and I are about the same, Steve, except I might exercise a little more than you.
I see you and Penny walking all the time.
I haven't seen you much lately, John, as much as I used to.
No, I've had to dial it back, fellas. I got arthritis in my ankle that I had to get a shot for. Yeah, that's fun.
Try mushrooms.
But
Try mushrooms. A guy called in earlier today and said he's taken some over-the-counter mushroom, and it's done wonders on his neck pain. You said he got it up Cedar Rapids, right?
Yes, at a place that also sells CBD.
Yeah.
A microdose mushroom.
Oh,
I'll let you borrow my Terrapin Station, and you get rid of that pain.
You mean drugs you're talking about? Okay.
Mushrooms, but I'm going to supply the music for you. Terrapin Station.
Put on those bell bottoms and get after it.
Yep.
You gentlemen are very entertaining today, but I better leave.
All right.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for the call.
Hey, great talking to you, fellas.
All right.
No, I had not heard that about Ken Grabinski.
Yeah,
that's sad.
such a shame.
75. That's too close.
It's a great Hawkeye.
You look again, staring at me.
Well,
now.
I'm just 75 is too young.
Yeah.
I would agree, and I'm guessing you guys would both agree with me.
Oh, indeed.
You doing lunch today? You want to do lunch? Do lunch?
Yeah, I think we probably can. We don't have any leftovers at home. So.
Okay. Hello?
Where you going?
I don't know. Hello?
Hey, it's good to hear from Johnny Balmer.
You betcha.
Oh, yeah, he's a very wise man.
He is in my brother's class. Brother Steve.
You're kidding me, Tom.
Would I kid you, my friend?
Well, you kid a lot, you guys.
Well, that's true. I might. But I'm telling you the truth now.
Wow, you high?
John Balmer? No, he was City High.
I thought he was asking if you're high.
I did have a T-shirt back in the day because I went to U-High, University High School. The front of the T-shirt said U-High, ? And the back of the shirt said, I sure as hell am.
All right. Condoning drug use.
Oh, yeah,
Suter.
My mom went there.
Did she?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool.
A lot of good athletes. The Schoenfelders.
It's like he's coming over satellite.
Well, that's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, you guys drifted today talking about drugs and.
Yeah, we got another call, but thank you for calling. Hello.
Thanks, Paul.
That should be our endorsement,
That's
right?
Great.
That should be the promo right there.
Hello.
Hey guys, it's Shooter.
Who's this?
Shooter.
Oh, hey, Shooter.
Yeah.
Sup?
Hey, I wanted to comment on you guys were talking about softball and travel ball.
Yeah.
Gal from Dowling, that's in travel softball. That's really not very uncommon for star players to not play for their high school team.
Really?
What boils down to, yes, when it boils down to is you go to these club tournaments and there'll be a lot more college coaches there.
Yeah. No, I get it.
It makes sense.
I know it makes sense. I just think it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I feel it's real unfortunate for these kids, with streaming. The gyms are empty because people are sitting at home watching them. My wife included, drinking a glass of wine. I'm like, let's go watch some basketball. But I heard you guys talking about it, and just wanted to comment that I've seen that, with my daughter coming up through. She played for a high school team, but also played travel ball. And what's weird is about Iowa is we still play summer softball.
Yeah. I wonder why she could. I wonder why she couldn't have done both. But I don't know what I'm talking about either. It was probably way too busy.
The tournaments. So all these other states play their softball early spring. So summer is when the travel circuit is, and all those kids are going travel circuits.
And you sacrifice a little publicity because had she played at Dowling, chances are we would have maybe
she would
heard
have had
about
a ton of
yeah.
coverage.
And so it's interesting that they do kind of give up a little bit of fame and early on in their career. But look where she is now. You can't argue with the
to play for the right people.
Yeah, look. I mean, she's incredible.
Yeah, and I have a saying. There's something about team building and bonding with your classmates and teammates. With some of these kids that win state championships, they're going to remember that.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, you bet.
I agree. No, I completely agree. Yep.
And some of these travel teams, there's people flying in they're flying kids from all over the country, and they're on the same team, and the only time they really mesh is when they get on the field, and they don't have a real strong connection.
Yeah,
like kids do in high school.
Nope, you're right.
It's a good news, bad news situation for sure.
Mixed bag.
Yep, and I don't know which way it's going to go from here. So I hate to see the high school sports.
And I'm not knocking this girl. She took the path that she felt was best for her, and it's working. It's just when I saw that she had never pitched for Dowling, I'm like, okay, that's why I'd never heard of her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and these teams, players from California, some of them don't play high school ball.
Yeah, wow. Think about how much the Register would have written about her.
For sure.
As opposed to, I wonder how much they have. Well, no, now she's a household name and what have you. You know, and she also faced the challenge of trying to beat that stud pitcher from Texas Tech, and she did. I'll give her credit. They won.
Yes, she did.
Yep.
Did you see game 1 or game 2 where she tried to intentionally walk
Yeah.
Elijah Kennedy?
Yeah, but she was flirting with danger because she was throwing it too hard and too close to the plate, obviously.
I totally had a flashback to watching Bad News Bears.
That was a good piece of hitting, too, by the Texas player.
Yeah.
And then in the third game, didn't she get rocked? And she got hit pretty hard in the third game, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She got bowled.
Yeah.
She had pitched every pitch in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, they got their $1 million worth out of her, even without winning the national title.
Yeah. But, hey, just wanted to comment.
Okay, thanks for the
Thanks,
info.
Shooter.
All right.
Yeah,
Chris Shooter Lehman,
and I'm
everybody.
sure the Tegan Caven is getting a nice chunk of coin from Texas,
Oh,
and
you know it.
and deservedly so. And
You know
but
it.
it's just when you see that, it's just weird. Somebody who went to Dowling, and part of the pride of going to as being on these teams at Dowling, and yet for her, she was too good for Dowling.
Evidently,
in a way, you know.
Well, she just chose a different path.
Well, she had an opportunity. She had an opportunity that most didn't.
That was turned out to be maybe a better
Well,
opportunity.
luckily AAU basketball is not the same because, could you imagine how unfortunate it would have been if Caitlin Clark had never played for Dowling because she was too busy playing AAU?
And all those kids have to play AAU
She was able
basketball.
to do both. Yeah, Caitlin, fortunately, was able to do both.
Hello.
Hey, guys, I coach high school softball here in Iowa, and it's at the school I coach at, we battle this constantly with travel ball and our club teams and whatnot. And we just tell them that, like, if you're going to, we expect to come first. And if you don't show up, you're just not going to play. And then one day pick one or the other.
No, I mean, fair enough.
Got to do what you got to do, and
I wonder if Dowling did that.
Well,
and Tegan Cavan said, "Okay, see you later."
Adios.
It's a problem all across the state. I've talked to coaches about this, and the thing is a lot of these club teams cost so much money to play. If you make one of them teams, but you're on it, so then if you're paying $1,500 or whatever.
Well, then the travel involved with it too,
and all that stuff to play. I
mean, I've got a buddy of mine whose daughter plays volleyball. And he travels all over the Midwest for these tournaments. Mm-hmm. And next, they're spending 3-4 nights in hotels.
Yeah.
That stuff adds up.
Sure does.
Yeah. And I mean, the thing about the recruiting stuff is there's plenty of players from Iowa that are going to schools that play high school. I mean, if you ever go to the Iowa Girls State Tournament, we take our girls every year the first day and watch games all day. And underneath them bleachers, there's anything from junior colleges to, we've seen Minnesota, Kansas State, Iowa. You see all them Division I teams there. It's just, man, in this day and age, if you're good, they're going to find you.
Yeah.
You don't have to play
exactly.
club.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, now, in the old days, just like everything's evolved and everything's changing, and it's weird time, but I just thought I'd give my 2 cents on it. I think high school is where you need to be.
I agree, but again, I'm not going to
call.
criticize somebody who doesn't agree with that.
No, so why is it then that it's such a big deal for the softball players to maybe have to make a decision between AAU and high school, but basketball, they all do both?
Well, I think
is it the time of the year?
A lot of the AAU stuff in basketball is in the spring and summer.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Obviously, softball,
that's a big thing too. I mean, it's the time of the year, and so our girls, we have 3 girls that are doing it, and they decided to come play for us. Now, once the season's over, however far we make it, when we're done, they're gone. They go play for their. And if going on, the more they play, the more they the better off they are. But it's the time that we're playing.
Yeah.
In the summer,
they overlap.
Yeah, and also, but then again, I've thought about it. Like, there's no way in hell I'd be coaching softball, and if I got cousins, my cousin played in Minneapolis for Maple Grove, and they're wearing Carhartts to games, and just, you know, if we played in the spring, it'd be miserable because those people, they hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to sit. I mean, you guys, we talk about this with Iowa baseball and softball. It'd be miserable.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Gotcha.
anyway, guys, have a good one.
All right. Hey, thanks for the call.
Thanks for the input.
I had one of our nieces played travel ball. A great pitcher in California, and they traveled all over the place. Yeah, they'd be gone for 3-4 nights a week. And
she played in college.
I think she elected not to. But she traveled all over. She had, unfortunately, I think 2 ACL tears, and maybe even got a third one. And so she battled that, but she was just top drawer.
But God, if you're the Dowling softball coach, you're thinking, geez, one of the best pitchers in the country right here, and we can't use it.
And we can't.
That would have to be frustrating.
Yeah.
But again, you can't argue with the path she chose because look where she is. I mean, the MVP of the World Series, and more power to her. But yeah, these club sports are growing and growing, and I just worry about the future of high school sports.
We had another niece who, track star, who almost came to Drake. And she loved Des Moines and almost came to Drake, but unfortunately went to UCLA instead.
How'd she do there?
I don't think she's going to run either.
Oh, she's just going as a student. Yeah, I could see, you know, is she from California?
Yeah.
I could see maybe wanting to go to UCLA over Drake. And I love Drake, don't get me wrong. I went there, but UCLA's a nice school, too.
But boy, the time that these two kids put into the athletics, you know,
athletics
it's
takes
astounding.
A lot. I mean, I just think back to my day playing sports year round. We didn't have much AAU and stuff, but still, it was just nonstop. I mean, Dowling baseball at practice every day, and then you 2 or 3 games, but just every day, 5-6 hours. I mean, it's very time consuming. Sports takes a lot of time.
It does. We have a family living across the street from us, and they have 4 kids. They all do sports, aged from probably 14 to 8, probably. But they all do sports, and this time of year, they are freaking never home. They have to split off because one kid's playing at this time, one kid's running a 5K.
And before you know it, it'll all be gone. The kids will all be grown up, and you'll look back and be like, wow, that was crazy.
And their next probably 14 years are going to continue to be like that.
And if they're lucky, they may get some college scholarships out of it if the kids turn out. But most kids don't. Most kids don't get college scholarships. Most kids aren't good enough to play Division I level in sports and what have you. But yeah, this situation though, when I was watching that Texas game, and I remember thinking, man, I wonder where this girl's from, the pitcher. And then all of a sudden when they said West Des Moines, it was just like, serious? Did I hear that right? And then they said Dowling, and I'm like, what the hell? And then I researched her and found out.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was Tegan Cavan was her name. But yeah, they beat him pretty convincingly in the third game. I think the last time I saw the score, it was 10. They knocked the $1 million pitcher out early.
Oh.
And right after she had signed her new $1 million contract. She's coming back for another $1 million.
Hey.
I mean, she's going to leave Texas Tech with $2 million. You know, if she plays her cards right.
Well, and they got to the
national
finals.
They got there. Last I saw, her record was like 34-5.
I mean,
they got their money's worth. And they got their money's worth out of her. So, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
God, there's just not that
the
much,
track stuff is this weekend. The finals of the NCAAs are this coming weekend, aren't they?
Yes.
That's all that's left.
Yes.
And but like I said, in the next 7 to 10 days, we'll learn of some interview opportunities with basketball and football. So we'll have some Hawkeye content coming, and I'll keep you guys posted as what Robert Gallery's situation is as far as radio, podcasts, and what have you. Because I'd like to have him on for as long as he wants to come on. And
you bet.
Like I said, it's out there. You know, Mike's written it. He's done. I think he's done at least 2 podcasts.
So we should find out today if Caitlin's going to be able to.
Oh yeah, they
come
play
back.
tonight, don't they?
They play tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Yeah.
I'm guessing she misses one more game.
I agree with you.
But like I said, it's just a guess.
Hopefully, I just hope it's not a recurring thing.
Well, yeah, if she does it again, they're going to shut her down.
Yeah.
If she plays and 10 minutes into the game, all of a sudden she feels that same pain. Or my guess is we won't see her for a while.
Yeah.
And I just hope it's not one of these season-ending type things.
Oh, boy.
So they got to be very careful. And they will. She's in good hands with a team like that. They have great medical care, so hopefully keep your fingers crossed because, I watched them a little bit the other night, but it's just not the same without Caitlin.
I watched them a little bit playing against the Sky.
Yeah, I watched a little bit. That game was terrible.
Oh, my God.
The game's terrible. Then you got people on Twitter just ripping that Angel Reese for missing layups and whatever. It's just the same stuff. But that Chicago, they look terrible.
Yeah.
And Angel Reese can't shoot.
No, she
God,
really
if
can't.
she could shoot, she'd average 30 points. She just can't shoot.
No, she got.
But my God, she can rebound without jumping.
Didn't she score 4 points?
Yeah, and what she have like 18 rebounds, 14 offensive on her own. A lot of her rebounds are on her own misses. But
well, there's a whole new word for me bound.
Well, other teams can stop her from getting those offensive rebounds too, but they don't.
They don't.
She's pretty persistent, and she does it without really jumping. If you look, she doesn't ever jump that high off the ground. She's got good timing, and she's just persistent.
And great position.
Yeah, great position. But, man, she's got to start making some of those. Well, what do I care? I'm not a fan of the Chicago Sky. Hey, whatever happened to the guard that was beating up on everybody, including Caitlin Kennedy?
She didn't get renewed.
That's unfortunate because she's good enough to play.
Oh, she's great.
I think she's one of the better players in the – hopefully this will be a wake.
She's a problem.
Yeah, she definitely has
a problem.
She's got a temper problem, but talent-wise, she's one of the best guards in the league.
Yes, she is.
She really is. That's unfortunate. Maybe a year off will maybe kind of.
I don't know. She's been down that road before.
And she must really have because the NBA's got a lot of hotheads playing too, and they are willing to.
Yeah, she was. She's been.
Oh, she had problems way beyond the Caitlin stuff, but my God, is she
was
good.
Bounced out.
Well, she supposedly threatened a teammate.
Yeah, she had got bounced off one of her foreign teams that she played on too.
And like I said, she's easily
threatening teammates.
When playing at the top of her game, she's easily one of the top 10 players in the league.
Tremendous player.
She'd be great with Caitlin too. Could you imagine that? Because she can shoot threes, and then if anyone gets rough with Caitlin, then she can go and beat them up. I think the Fever should hire.
And she would.
I think the Fever
should. And then she might beat up Caitlin.
And then beat up Caitlin. What the hell? Why stop here?
Yeah,
goes after the coach. What's unfortunate though, because she really is a very talented player.
She is, but boy, she's got problems.
Yeah, she must be thrown away this opportunity.
And I want Sophie to come back too. Sophie Cunningham's still out with her ankle injury.
Yeah, because she helps them more on defense, I think, than offense. She's a really good defender.
She is.
Yeah, so we'll see. They're 4-4. They're 2-2 without Caitlin, so they're withstanding this, but a lot of season left, and let's just hope Caitlin can get healthy. So what channel is that on tomorrow night? ESPN 3?
Yeah. What is ESPN 3? Oh, is that their streaming?
Oh, you got Disney Plus?
I got it on League.
I don't get it.
Yeah, you get Disney Plus.
Won't be able to watch it.
And in a strange anomaly, I've seen Sophie Cunningham play live twice, both of them at Carver Hawkeye Arena.
Who is she playing for?
Missouri. When Megan's team was.
Oh, I think I remember that. Okay,
yeah.
I remember that.
And coincidentally, the Cunningham is the name of the family in Happy Days.
Happy Days.
Coincidence, you make the call.
Whatever happened to the older brother? They got rid of him.
Yeah, they got rid of him.
What happened to him? What was his name? Chip?
I remember. He's done. Yeah, they just got
phased him out.
They never said anything about it.
See, I don't even remember
got
him.
rid of him.
He was like in the first year of the series.
He was, but like 3 times.
Who was the actor? How do you get rid of a family member?
I think they sent him off to prep school or overseas to school or something like that.
What, was he that bad?
I don't remember. Like I just remember I thought his name was Chip Cunningham. Chuck Cunningham.
Chuck.
They got rid of him. I think he's underneath the hardware store. I think Mr. Cunningham didn't want to pay for
Gavin O'Hurley.
Oh God, he was the bad guy, the gang leader in Death Wish 3. He was.
Yeah. Wow. Also Superman 3, Death Wish 3, and Willow, and he died in 20. He was 70. He died in 2021.
Death Wish 3 is still one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Charles Bronson's
Yes, it was
thing?
just
no.
And the gang of all races.
I saw Death Wish. I only saw like 25
Oh,
minutes
the one
of
with
Death Wish 5.
Oh, I didn't go that
where,
far.
you know, they weren't even related.
Yeah, but Death Wish 3, the
I
gang.
think one of the guys lived in his neighborhood, but like far on the other.
But Death Wish 3 had a gang. It had it would be like a modern day gang with Antifa and MAGA together.
No,
it was
in all different colors.
Every racial makeup you could have was in this gang, and Charles Bronson was fighting them all with what's that actor, Martin Balsam, and some other guy with a pop gun, and they beat them all. And Ed Lauer was he was the policeman in charge of the area there. Ed Lauer. Death Wish 3.
Well, it got even
I'm
more.
recommending it to all of our listeners.
Shout out to Death Wish 3.
If I'm ranking my movies, it would be The Water Horse, then right afterward, Death Wish 3.
Yeah, Water Horse was great.
Water Horse was
Loved
great.
it.
I recommend it to anyone out there listening.
Okay.
And avoid anything that starts with Death Wish.
Bruce Willis, did you see his?
Huh?
He did his own version of Death Wish, one of the last movies he made.
Yeah.
I watched it. It was, it was typical, kind of a predictable. Someone,
I don't like the genre.
Someone messed with him, and he spent the rest of the movie killing him.
Don't like the genre.
No, I'm not really into it either. The first Death Wish with Bronson was okay, but then it just got like so many movies that they insist on making.
Well, they got the dinosaurs.
Other than
back.
The Godfather. The Godfather's the only one where the
Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Oh, I like all the
yeah,
Jurassic
those ones.
Parks.
That one evolved okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give the.
Love 'em all.
But
Get
Godfather
a
2
new
was
one.
better than 1, I thought. Didn't you?
Godfather, what about it?
I thought 2 was better, as good or better than 1.
As good or better.
Yeah, and
I agree.
it's just rare. I mean, Rocky. I mean, how far it fell. Jaws. Nothing.
So what are we up to? Like Rocky 8 now?
Yeah.
Well, no, you're up to Creed 3. That's what it's evolved to. You had the Rocky 4, then Rocky 5 with Morrison, then you had Rocky Balboa, then you had Creed 1, 2, and 3.
What's Creed?
Apollo Creed's son, Michael.
Oh, okay.
Michael Jordan plays his character. He beat Ivan Drago's son in Apollo Creed 2. It's just nonsense. But it's
shoot
money.
Me.
And with that,
we're
of
done.
course, with that, on a similar note, the Allman Brothers kids are playing at the Englert soon.
Interesting. I just saw an interview with Greg Allman from about 2016. And it was interesting, just talking about, he had quit drinking by then and just talking about the mistakes that he had made in his life. But he seemed at peace with himself. And it was just interesting because, man, what a life he lived. Think about that.
And so his kid, I think it's Devin, is playing it along with Dickie Betts' kid.
Okay, because Dickie Betts is gone,
Dwayne Betts, I think.
Yeah. Okay, and they just do Allman Brothers songs? Is that it?
No, not only. They have some of their own stuff, too, but they do.
Okay.
Carly Rae.
They do Carly Rae Jepsen?
Yeah.
That's one of their lead tracks?
Yeah, we're going to start with Call Me Maybe.
You imagine the Doors doing Call Me Lady? Call Me. All right, well, let's end on that. Thanks for the callers. And
all right, yeah, fun
good discussion today, and we'll be back on Wednesday, but not Friday or Saturday.
Not Friday or Saturday.
We got to make a lot out of Wednesday's show, right? There's a lot riding on Wednesday's show,
lot.
Captain?
Yeah, the whole station.
Future of civilization.
A lot
the whole
riding
station
on.
is riding on.
All right, so Molly Suter is next. Thank you for listening, everybody. HawkFanatic.com. Check it out. It's free.
Download the new KCJJ